y'all. I'm going to talk to you guys today about having a pet in your vehicle. Now, everybody knows that I have Miss Hazel and that she's everything to me. I mean, she's my gal, okay? She's my friend, she's my companion. I mean, she's really everything to me. Now, having said that, there are pluses to having your pet in your vehicle. And that is what I've just stated. She's everything to me. I can't imagine being without her, okay? She always wants to go where I want to go. No questions, no arguing. And best of all, she never ever rolls her eyes at me. Now, anybody that's ever had teenagers knows all about the big eye roll, okay? They try to do it behind your back, but usually you catch them at it. Never get that from Hazel. So she eats what I want to eat. She goes where I want to go. She does what I want to do. If I want to go out and play in the park and I want to run around, take her for a walk, she is all about that. If I want to be horizontal in the van, she's good with that. She just stretches out and she relaxes with me and we just enjoy ourselves. So that's the good thing, companionship. Now, for the cons. For one thing, you have to be very careful with the temperature inside your vehicle when you have an animal, especially if you think you're going to leave your vehicle. If it's too cold, which usually is not too much of a problem, but the heat truly is a problem with pets. Now, that's one of the problems I have with getting a little job. If I were lucky enough to get a little job and I work during the day, what am I going to do with Hazel to ensure that I don't suffocate her? Okay? So it makes it almost impossible for me. I don't have a big rig with a generator and all that stuff where I can run air conditioning for her. I don't have that. I do have a fantastic fan, but I still wouldn't be comfortable leaving her in here even if I were running that fan. You can't always count on parking in the shade because the shade shifts with the sunshine, okay? So the temperature, get me out of this intersection here. So that's a really, really big concern. Now, it's okay for me because I'm full-time in my van. I don't shop during the day. If it's hot, I make sure that I'm in the van with Hazel so I know what the temperature's like. I can take her outside if it gets too warm. I can move if the shade shifts. So that's how I deal with the heat and Hazel in the van. Now, my opinion is that dogs are easier than cats. And of course, everybody knows the reason for that, and that is it's hard to have a litter box inside a van. Now, I've seen some people that do it, and to me, y'all, it's just nasty. I mean, kitty litter is everywhere. And then if you happen to get that wet, then that's really icky. Now, I love kitty cats, and if I could have a kitty cat, I would have one, but I just couldn't handle it in a van or an RV. Maybe an RV. You have more room. You have more room where you can contain it and keep it clean and sweep it up every time they use the litter box or whatever you can do. It can be done. It can be done. But the other thing about having pets is when you're on the road, if you have a limited income, there's their health care you have to worry about. I mean, I used to have 2 health insurance policies on Hazel when I was working. I had a regular one through Banfield, which is PetSmart, and that pays for all of her office visits are all paid for. Her teeth cleaning is paid for. She gets 2 comprehensive checkups with blood work and all that good stuff is done twice a year, and I pay about $42 a month for that. I did have another policy that was called VIP. I forget what it stands for. Very important pet, but I don't think that's it. Anyway, that was a catastrophic policy. The Banfield policy does not cover if your animal gets attacked by another animal, gets a disease, gets hit by a car, God forbid. You have to have 2 different policies. Now, I believe the catastrophic policy allows you to have the regular health care in with it. Now, I can barely afford Hazel's regular health care, so that's all she has right now. I just pray that if my little girl has to go before me, that she has a big heart attack or something and goes just the way I want to go. No long suffering illness. And I couldn't stand to see her suffer anyway. So that's the other thing you have to keep in mind when you have a pet anywhere, but most especially when you're not working, you're on Social Security, you're on disability. I pay about $1,000 a year to maintain Hazel. Now, she has hair, okay? She does not shed. I shed way more than Hazel does. But as a result of her having hair and not having fur, she has to be groomed. So that's about $45 a month. And that includes a $5 tip for Tracy, her groomer. So that's something you have to consider. If you have a dog that needs to go to the groomer, unless you're really good at it and you have a well-behaved little girl or boy that will be still, you could groom them yourself. I tried it on Hazel once, and she was very embarrassed at the haircut that I gave her, and I couldn't blame her at all. So that's another thing that you have to think about. Now, it's not hard to find a groomer anywhere. You can go anywhere in any city and you can find a groomer. So that's not really a problem. It's the cost that you have to consider. Then there's clothes. Now, Hazel does not have a whole closet full of clothes. She does have 1 or 2 little things, and she definitely has a coat for cold weather. Then you've got collars and halters and leashes. You have a pet bed, a pet carrier if you need one. And then there's food and there are treats. Now, I haven't factored in a lot of this stuff, y'all. I just count up what I spend at the vet's office and for her food and her grooming. Now, even when you have pet insurance, like the other day when Hazel had her teeth cleaned, she had some extra stuff that needed to be done, and that was $175. So, having pets when you're on a limited income and you're on wheels is not easy. If anything were to happen to my baby girl, I really do not think that I would ever have another baby. Because it's a lot of responsibility, y'all. They are our, and I won't say they're our children. They're not our children. They're animals. But they're very, very valuable to us, and they are a part of our families. But it's a lot of responsibility, and it's a lot of money. And you have to worry about, the last thing you worry about is, what if something happens to me? Do I have a plan for Hazel? I have a couple of people that would take her. Mary Jo would not take her and keep her. She's got grandkids, and Hazel does not do well around anybody or children. So you have to have a plan for your animal in case you get too sick or you die and you can't take care of them. Now, I have talked to my son, and he would not keep her either. However, he did tell me that he would make sure that she did not go to the pound, that she would go to a rescue organization that does not euthanize their animals. And Mary Jo would do the same thing. Now, if I lived close to Ford Van Man, I know he and his sweet wife would take Hazel in and they would take care of her. But we live almost 2,000 miles apart, so that's really not an option. But y'all, if you don't have a pet already, give it some really, really serious thought. Can you afford to put a baby into your budget and take care of it? They have to have shots. They've got to have exams. They have got to have their teeth cleaned. They have to be looked after. So be very careful. Be very careful. Because once you have them, you can't give them up. Mary Jo's asked me several times why I didn't just rehome Hazel. Now, when I got her from that high kill shelter, that was my plan, that I would rehome her. I was just rescuing her. But with all her issues, nobody else would deal with that. She would have ended up right back in the pound, and no way could I do that. No way. So guys, give it really serious thought, okay? It is not easy. It's not easy. They are so worth it, but it is not easy. So anyway, that is the end of this video, and I have no idea how long it has been, but thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if I don't respond to your comment, don't think that I haven't read it and that I don't appreciate it, because I do. So you guys do something fun today. I got a ticket, another one, from the street sweeper today, because I took Mary Jo to see her mom and I forgot it was street sweeping day. Now that's not really a lot of fun, but Hazel and I are on our way to the park, and that will be fun. It's hot here today. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.